Alrighty, so I'm back and I just wanted to follow up on a video that I had posted recently, in fact just earlier today. And it is in no way an explanation or an apology for what I have said, but perhaps a little bit of a more clarification as to why the video was entitled the way it is. The title of the video was Cape Town Fires, Why Should I Care? It was not a dismissive title in any way. It was a probing and a questioning of this phenomena and of this tragedy. Why should I care about something that hasn't really touched me in any way? I mean, literally. I wasn't there when it happened. It's not part of my community. It is way over on the other side of the mountain, and the question remains, is why should I care? And in all fairness, I mean, as a South African, as a Cape Townian, I should care as my fellow human beings, and I did, and I do. I am just questioning that I don't care more, and I want everyone to understand that this platform from which I speak, which is actually my own home, but the platform from which I speak is entitled The Way I See It. So I need everyone to bear in mind that it is from my perspective and it is the way I see it. And I'd like, a part of my other tagline that I use from The Way I See It is to ask you to keep watching. And of course, I do hope that you will. And I recently thought, in trying to do this and in trying to uncover what it is that I want from this platform, is I want us to be more honest with each other. I want us to be more frank with each other. And in light of that, and in light of one of my friend's father's name being Frank, and him having passed on recently, I'd actually, in fact, would like to start using that as a tagline in conjunction with my The Way I See It. So let's be frank, and in honor of Frank Angiano, who has passed, and may he rest in peace and may God bless his soul, I would like to be frank. Well, sorry. That's quite funny actually. Well, I think so. Anyway, so let's be frank. Okay, this is what I want us to do. I want us to be a bit more honest with each other, because we are still hiding behind the armchairs, in our armchairs, behind the computer, anonymous, and we're still spewing hatred at each other. I see it daily, still happening 20 years into democracy. And let's be frank. Let's say what we want to say. Let's be honest with each other. Let's be brutally honest. But let's not use hate speech to do so. Let's try and reconcile these things which confuses us. The reason I said this is because when I wrote my letter to my friend in Canada, and I wrote to her trying to explain how this fire made me feel, or rather didn't make me feel, I'm trying to come to terms with the fact that this was institutionalized racism. This was institutionalized for me by an apartheid government that forced me to think this way, to force me to think separately. And the fact that I had not as much empathy for these people because they were white than I would have had they been black. And this is the black and white of it. And it's sad, but it is true. So you have to, in turn, ask yourself, you are a white South African right now. You rallied to this cause for your fellow man out in those very different areas. Did you feel the same urge to help when it was a fire in Imizami Yetu, for example, around the corner from you in Hout Bay? Did you feel the same way when it was Lawandle that burned down in Somerset West, or Guguletu, or Khayelitsha, any one of these townships? Did you feel that you needed to get into your car and go and help the way that you did when these fires broke out in these areas? Is it fair to ask you those questions? Let's be frank, it's time we start asking these questions. The longer we leave this to fester, the more the arm or whatever it is will rot, and we will not truly reconcile as a nation. I truly believe that. So I would like to reconcile. I would like to bond with my fellow man. But let's be frank, if we keep on lying to each other, if we keep on being dishonest or withholding of the truth, how can we really start feeling for each other? So let me again say, the way I see it, this is a tragedy. There are people that got hurt, people who lost their homes, and I'm sorry about that. I really feel for you. I want you to understand that I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I don't see white people as enemies. I don't see black people as friends. I just see people, and that might just sound cliche, but yes, there are ways and means for which we have been taught to think, and we have to catch ourselves at times. So forgive me if I sound harsh. Forgive me, please, if you think that I hate you as a white person. But there are still lots of anger within me that automatically comes up if there are certain things that I see or injustices, and whether that is white or black, if I may just put that out there. But let's be frank, there's a lot still to talk about. Right now, there isn't much time left for me in terms of my computer. My batteries are running flat. So I'm going to put this on pause. I'm going to hope that you understand the context within which I had posted my video called Why Should I Care? And know that I do care. I hope you'll keep watching. And remember, this is the way I see it. And let's be frank.